Have you ever uh, gotten like totally lost, like in a new city, and your phone's GPS just can't find a good route, with all that rush hour traffic?
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst, right?
Yeah.
Super frustrating. Well, imagine that feeling, but like amplified a million times. And
Mhm.
that's kind of the roadblock scientists and researchers hit every day when they're trying to solve like the most complex problems.
Yeah, sometimes the problems they're working on are just way too big, too messy for even the most powerful computers we have today.
Exactly. And that's where things get super exciting because there's this like whole new type of computing that's emerging, and it has the potential to like totally change the game. Quantum computing. Did you
Yeah.
hear of that?
Oh, yeah. Quantum computing. It's like stepping into a whole new dimension of possibilities.
Okay, so if you're new to the world of quantum computing, like don't worry, we're going to break it down for you today. We're going to explore how it works, who the major players are, and why this technology has the potential to revolutionize so many aspects of our lives. So if you're ready to learn something new, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future deep dives.
Yeah, to understand quantum computing, you first need to grasp the concept of a qubit.
A qubit.
A qubit. In our regular computers, information is stored in bits, which can be either a 0 or a 1. A qubit, on the other hand, can be both 0 and 1 at the same time.
Whoa, wait a minute. How can something be two things at once? That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does sound strange, but that's the magic of quantum mechanics. Qubits, they leverage the principles of superposition and entanglement.
Superposition and entanglement.
Yeah, which allow them to exist in multiple states simultaneously. And this mind-bending ability gives quantum computers the potential to perform calculations at speeds that would take, classical computers like billions of years.
Okay. Okay, that's starting to make a little more sense, but it's definitely still blowing my mind.
Yeah.
So are we saying that quantum computers are just like faster versions of our current computers?
Not exactly. It's not just about speed. It's about tackling entirely new types of problems that are just too complex for classical computers, no matter how fast they are.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, like, you're trying to simulate the behavior of molecules to design a new drug.
Okay.
Classical computers struggle with the sheer number of possibilities, but quantum computers can handle this complexity, like, with ease.
So it's about solving problems in a totally different way, opening up a whole new world of possibilities. Now, who are the like big brains behind this incredible technology? Who's working on this?
Well, you got the heavy hitters of the tech world all vying for a piece of the quantum pie. Google, IBM, and Microsoft are leading the charge, each with their own unique strategies.
Sounds like we've got a real quantum race on our hands. It's like the space race of the 21st century.
Absolutely. Each company is pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and they're all making incredible strides.
Okay, let's dive into these companies one by one, starting with Google. I hear they've achieved something called quantum supremacy. What does that even mean?
Quantum supremacy is a major milestone in the field. It's when a quantum computer successfully performs a task that would be practically impossible for even the most powerful classical computer to complete in a reasonable amount of time.
So it's like a quantum computer like flexing its muscles and showing the world what it can do.
Exactly. And Google did just that with their Sycamore processor. They tackled a highly specific problem in just 200 seconds. That would have taken a classical supercomputer thousands of years to solve.
200 seconds
200 seconds.
versus thousands of years. Wow. It's hard to even wrap your head around that kind of speed difference. But I've heard that quantum computers are like really prone to errors. How are they dealing with that?
That's a critical point. Building stable and reliable quantum computers is one of the biggest challenges in the field. Google is tackling this head-on with error correction techniques.
Okay.
They're developing new processors like the Willow chip, which are designed to detect and correct errors as they arise during computations.
So it's like having a spell checker for quantum calculations, constantly making sure everything's on track.
You got it. It's an incredibly complex process, but it's essential for making quantum computers reliable enough for real-world applications.
That makes sense. Now, what about IBM? What's their approach to quantum computing?
IBM is taking a slightly different path. They're focusing on building a robust quantum ecosystem,
Okay.
developing both the hardware and the software needed to make quantum computing more accessible.
So they're like creating the whole infrastructure,
Yeah.
not just the computer itself, but the whole thing.
Yeah. It's like building the roads and the power lines to support a new city.
Okay, I like that. That's a great analogy.
They've developed the Heron processor. Yeah, Heron. which boasts significant advancements in qubit fidelity, meaning their qubits are very precise and less prone to errors. And on the software side, they have Qiskit.
Qiskit.
Yeah, Qiskit. It's an open source platform that allows anyone to experiment with quantum programming.
It sounds like they're really focused on making quantum computing more accessible to researchers and developers, kind of like democratizing this, like complex technology.
Exactly. They believe that by making it easier for people to learn about and experiment with quantum computing, they'll accelerate the pace of innovation. They're even offering cloud-based access to their quantum computers so people can try them out without having to build their own.
That's pretty awesome. It's like giving everyone a chance to test drive a quantum computer. Now, what about Microsoft? They're in this race too, right?
Absolutely. Microsoft is betting big on a unique approach called topological qubits.
Topological qubits.
These qubits are theoretically much more stable than other types, making them less prone to errors.
So it's like they're going for a more robust foundation from the get-go.
Precisely. They believe that topological qubits will ultimately lead to more reliable and scalable quantum computers. They're also developing their own cloud platform called Azure Quantum,
Azure Quantum.
which aims to integrate different quantum technologies and make them accessible to a wider audience.
Okay, so we've got Google focusing on error correction, IBM on building an ecosystem and accessibility, and Microsoft on the stability of topological qubits. It's like they're each attacking this problem from a different angle. But it's not just the big players who are making waves in quantum computing, right? What about the startups? There's going to be tons of startups working on this stuff.
You're right. The startup scene in quantum computing is incredibly vibrant. You have companies like IonQ, which specializes in trapped ion systems.
IonQ trapped ion systems, okay.
These systems are known for their high fidelity, making them particularly well suited for certain types of calculations.
So it's like they're focusing on a specific niche within the broader field of quantum computing.
Exactly. And then you have companies like Rigetti, which is developing quantum computers based on superconducting circuits. They're exploring different architectures for their systems, aiming to create more powerful and versatile quantum computers.
Okay, so a lot of different ways to go about this, it sounds like.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of diversity in the types of quantum computers being developed. Why is that?
Well, the field is still relatively young, and researchers are experimenting with different approaches to building these incredibly complex machines. Each qubit technology has its own set of advantages and disadvantages, and it's still too early to say which one will ultimately prevail.
So it's a bit like the Wild West of computing, with everyone trying out different ideas and seeing what works best.
That's a great way to put it. And the startups play a crucial role in this exploration. They're often more agile and willing to take risks than the larger companies, and they're driving a lot of the innovation in the field.
So they're kind of like the pioneers, venturing into uncharted territory and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. I like it.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that makes following this field so exciting. There's so much potential for discovery and breakthroughs, and it's changing rapidly. If you're really enjoying this deep dive, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the latest developments.
Absolutely. It's like watching a technological revolution unfold in real time. Now, we've talked about the companies pushing the boundaries of quantum computing, but what about the role of governments in all of this? They must be investing heavily in this technology as well, right?
You're absolutely right. Governments around the world are recognizing the transformative potential of quantum computing and are making significant investments in research and development. For example, the U.S. has launched the National Quantum Initiative,
A National Quantum Initiative.
which aims to accelerate the development of quantum technologies.
So it's like they're providing the fuel for this, like, quantum rocket to take off.
Precisely. And it's not just the U.S. The European Union has its own quantum flagship program. And countries like China and Canada are also pouring resources into quantum research.
So it sounds like a global race to unlock the power of quantum computing. But why is it so important for governments to be involved? I mean, we've got all these big companies and these scrappy startups working on this. Why do we need the government involved?
Well, developing quantum computers is a massively complex and expensive undertaking, often with, uncertain outcomes.
Okay.
Governments are uniquely positioned to provide the long-term funding and support that's needed to overcome these challenges and drive innovation forward. They also play a crucial role in fostering collaboration between academia, industry, and government labs, creating a thriving quantum ecosystem.
So it's not just about throwing money at the problem. It's about creating the right environment for this technology to flourish. But with all this talk about quantum supremacy and, Groundbreaking technology. It's easy to get lost in the technical details. Why should the average person care about quantum computing? How is this going to impact, like, our lives?
That's a great question. While quantum computing might seem like a distant and abstract concept, it has the potential to revolutionize countless aspects of our lives in the coming years.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give us some examples. How will this technology actually change things for us in, like, practical ways?
Well, imagine a world where we can design new drugs and materials with unprecedented precision,
Okay.
leading to breakthroughs in medicine, energy, and manufacturing.
This sounds pretty amazing. What else?
Think about the potential for revolutionizing artificial intelligence. Quantum computers could help us develop AI systems that are vastly more powerful and capable than anything we have today.
So it's not just about faster computers. It's about solving problems that are currently impossible with our existing technology. It's about, like, unlocking a whole new level of human potential.
Exactly, and this is just the beginning. As quantum computing continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more incredible applications emerge in fields ranging from finance to cybersecurity to climate modeling.
It's mind-boggling to think about all the possibilities. It feels like we're on the verge of a technological revolution that will reshape our world in ways we can't even imagine yet.
It's definitely an exciting time to be following this field. And if you're feeling overwhelmed by all this information, don't worry. We'll be back in a moment to wrap things up and highlight the key takeaways from our deep dive into the world of quantum computing.
Welcome back to the deep dive. It feels like we just scratched the surface of this, like, incredible world of quantum computing. So much to talk about.
It really is a vast and rapidly evolving field. But before we go, let's recap some of the key takeaways from our exploration today.
Yeah, let's do a quick recap. So we started by talking about the, like, fundamental building block of quantum computers, the qubit. Unlike a regular bit, which can only be a 0 or a 1, a qubit can be both at the same time. This mind-bending concept known as superposition is what gives quantum computers their incredible power.
Exactly. And we also touched on entanglement, which allows qubits to be linked together in a way that lets them influence each other instantaneously, even if they're physically separated.
Yeah, entanglement. Like, they have this, like, secret communication channel that, like, defies the laws of physics as we know them. It's crazy.
It's definitely one of the most bizarre and fascinating aspects of quantum mechanics, but these principles are what allow quantum computers to perform calculations that would be impossible for classical computers.
And speaking of impossible calculations, we talked about Google achieving quantum supremacy with their Sycamore processor.
Right. That was a major milestone that demonstrated the potential of quantum computing to solve problems that are simply intractable for classical computers.
And while Google is focused on error correction to make quantum computers more reliable, IBM is taking a different approach by building a comprehensive quantum ecosystem.
Yeah, they're making quantum computing more accessible through cloud platforms and open source software, hoping to democratize access to this powerful technology.
And then we have Microsoft, who is betting on the stability of topological qubits as the key to building more scalable and reliable quantum computers. A lot of different approaches.
It's fascinating to see these different approaches playing out, and it's still too early to say which one will ultimately be the most successful.
It's like a race with multiple runners, each taking a different path to the finish line. But it's not just about the big players. We also explored the vibrant world of quantum computing startups. Those are super interesting.
Companies like IonQ and Rigetti are pushing the boundaries of what's possible with specialized quantum computers, targeting specific applications and industries.
And all of this is happening with the support of governments around the world who are recognizing the strategic importance of quantum computing and investing heavily in its development. So it's not just companies, it's governments too.
It's clear that quantum computing is no longer just a scientific curiosity. It's a rapidly maturing technology with the potential to revolutionize countless aspects of our lives.
It really does feel that way. From medicine and material science to finance and artificial intelligence, the possibilities seem endless. It's both exciting and a little bit daunting to think about the changes that lie ahead.
I think that's a healthy perspective. It's important to approach this technology with a sense of wonder and excitement, but also with a mindful awareness of its potential implications.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to learn more about this incredible field. It's a journey of discovery that's just beginning, and there's so much more to explore.
If you're ready to continue your exploration, I encourage you to check out the resources mentioned in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating explorations of cutting-edge technologies.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive, and until next time, stay curious.